Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I am so excited to share this build with you. Basically, I've been itching to do another tiny house. It's one of my favorite things to build. That's no secret here on the channel, and it's been kind of a little bit, but I really wasn't sure which style I wanted to tackle for this tiny house. I like to have a theme or like a concept in mind when it comes to building them, not just something random. And I realized I've never done a cyberpunk house in The Sims. I've only done an apartment in that aesthetic, and it's one of my favorites to build with. I just think it is such a cool looking style, and so I thought I would combine the idea of that aesthetic with the idea of creating a tiny house, and the cyberpunk tiny house was born. If you're not familiar with cyberpunk, I'm just going to read you a quick definition off of the internet to give you a better idea of what we are working with here today. So cyberpunk is a subgenre of science fiction in a dystopian futuristic setting that tends to focus on a combination of low life and high tech, featuring futuristic technological and scientific achievements such as artificial intelligence, cyberware, and it is juxtaposed with societal collapse or dystopia and decay of the world around you. So now that you have a better idea of what cyberpunk is, you can kind of see that starting to come together. I wanted to have a fun shape on the outside, some overhangs, lots of windows, and I used a mixture of this corrugated metal with some more rundown brick. And I'm gonna go overboard with the lighting in this house. It's going to be so much blue and pink lighting on the outside and on the inside, and I was kind of thinking this house could be for a gamer. That's sort of what I was envisioning when I decorated the interior. There ends up being not only a space for your Sims to like sit down at a couch and do some console gaming, but there's like a PC set up. There's so many cool neon lights, and I think it would be such a cozy space to curl up and have like a late night gaming sesh. I mean, you could even curl up on the couch and play some mobile games. I've been playing a lot of mobile games lately. It's been a really nice way to wind down after a long day, and actually thanks to today's sponsor, you can now earn points to redeem gift cards just for playing mobile games. Misplay is a loyalty app for gamers. Whether you need help covering that latest expansion pack, gear upgrades, or even new merch, Misplay is the place for you to earn rewards simply by trying out and playing mobile games. Misplay offers a giant catalog of games including puzzle and word games, relaxing card games, thrilling strategy games, and more. You're pretty much guaranteed to find a new favorite, and the more you play these games, the more points you'll earn, which you can redeem for gift cards from some of your favorite brands like Xbox, PlayStation, Walmart, Amazon, and a bunch of others. In fact, over $60 million in gift cards have already been redeemed on Misplay. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Merge Villa, mostly at night when I'm relaxing, trying to wind down in the evening, and I've been racking up so many points, and I'm currently saving up for an Amazon gift card. If this sounds like something you'd like to try out, you can visit misplay.com/Gryphi or click the link in my description to download Misplay for free right now. You'll get 200 bonus points just for signing up today, plus if you use code Gryphi50 inside the app, you'll get an additional 50 free points, which will help you towards redeeming your first gift card. See description for details. Thank you again to Misplay for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to it. So on the outside here, I am starting to add some more lighting. Obviously, we have some of those strip lights up above the front door, which are from high school years. And I believe these lights that I'm using here are also from high school years. I just really wanted to have these bright pops of color against this more rough exterior. I also decided to add a lot of like roof decorations and exterior stuff. Like we have this sort of rundown solar panel on the roof. There's an old air conditioner. I end up having a HVAC unit up here, and there's just so many random bits and bobs that I grabbed from a variety of packs. Like, I'm not even sure what this item is supposed to be, but I think it's from Strangerville, and I was just going for lots of like metal stuff around the space. I wanted lots of pipes and just like things that could be any kind of futuristic tech, and lots of lighting as well. So I ended up using a lot of lights that actually came from city living. I wanted that city vibe, but obviously I'm not building this in a city. It's a tiny house sort of in the middle of the woods. I decided to put this here instead of in a city where you might see it more, it might be more common to see things that are in a cyberpunk aesthetic in a city, but I felt like a tiny house didn't really make sense there. So I thought the best place to do this, since we wanted to have that sort of like decaying world around you, was the rundown world of Moonwood Mill, which of course came with the werewolves expansion pack. So that's what I opted for here. I think it worked quite well. I added a few of these actual like tunnel items from werewolves that your Sims can go in there and explore the tunnels. So there's that door in the back and then this like underground entrance over here. It just felt like it fit the area really well. I like the graffiti on it. I end up having a lot of that around this build, and I have some like overgrown grass. And I just had a blast coming up with how I was going to decorate this. And I was actually really nervous that it wasn't going to come across what it was. And I thought that I wasn't doing a good job. And a little bit after this, all of a sudden, I called my partner in the room and I was like, what do you think? I didn't tell him at all what I was decorating. And he goes, that's a really cool Cyberpunk build. And so I was like, yes, finally. I'm glad that it is coming across because I just get so in my head about these type of things. Like when I'm doing aesthetics, I don't do that often. But I love this one, so hopefully you agree that it came out okay. If you do like it, by the way, and you'd like to download it, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. As you can see, I'm just adding more and more stuff absolutely everywhere. The roof now has 2 satellite dishes on it. I'm getting some lighting out here in this little awning. I end up using a lot from the Star Wars pack, Journey to Batuu, because it really fits the style perfectly. So I was quite excited about that. I get like lots of like metal beams and broken things and some futuristic tech as well as lots of graffiti. And it was just really cool to have a use for that pack because I don't use it that often, but I think the items in it are really cool. I remember when that pack first came out doing a couple of builds just inspired by it. And actually, when it first came out, that was when me and Rochella first became friends. And we spent hours on a Discord call just like working on builds with Journey to Batuu, which was really fun and was really a cool bonding experience. So nice memories there. But anyway, on the inside, I'm now starting to work on the floor plan. It's pretty simple. It's only separated into a couple of rooms. There's a bedroom upstairs and a bathroom downstairs, but the rest of it's pretty open concept. And it has like a living space, a dining, well, it doesn't have a dining space. I almost said it had a dining space, but I figured you'd probably just eat at the couch. I didn't think it needed a table and chairs. It didn't really feel correct in the space, and there wasn't a lot of space anyway. And then upstairs where we might have been able to fit a table and chairs, I decided to turn that into like a gaming upstairs area. I had mentioned that earlier. It ends up having like a whole second TV set up and a computer setup, and it's just like really colorful and fun up there, whereas down here is more of the living space. I did opt for a mini fridge in this kitchen instead of a full-size fridge because I thought it would just look like it was obstructing the view by having such a tall fridge. But I thought it worked nicely. I like the stickers on this one. This is a mini fridge from the High School Years pack, and I was really enjoying just putting stickers everywhere in this build and neon lights and stuff like that and like little posters. And so I just thought that it fit the vibe quite well. And the counters I'm using are from the base game. I thought that they looked really nice. And then this couch is actually from the Industrial Loft kit. I'm pretty sure I used a couple of items from there because the industrial vibe works quite nicely here too. And it's very much not a limited pack build. I use so many things. And here you can see me playing with the lights. Me being able to change them in build mode is one of the mods I have. I'm trying to remember which one. I think it might be Better Build By. I use a lot of building mods just to help me do things quicker. They're not going to impact your gameplay, but they are there. And there's also no like CC items. It just allows me to do some things like that in build mode. And then I decided to go with this light from the Modern Lux kit. I really like the other one I had grabbed at first, but I was a little worried it might impact your Sims being able to walk under it because some lights do that. So I got rid of that in the end, and then I am playing around with some other decorations. And actually, when I was playtesting this build, it took me forever to figure out what the problem was because my Sims could not go up the steps. And for a while, I thought it was that debug vent that I put by the stairs, but it's actually, there's a TV at the top of the steps that was blocking the way, but I'll point that out when we get to it. So I do reconfigure upstairs a little bit between what you're seeing in the video and what's uploaded to the gallery because your Sims could not get up there, and I needed to change that so that your Sims can actually utilize the space and like use the other half of their home where their bedroom and stuff is. So, and their gaming space. That was like the whole idea behind it. But anyway, down here, I am adding some more stuff to the living area. I do end up adding that extra wall in there. So there's a place to put a TV, and we get a side table here where I put a record player. We have a little drone over in the corner, which I thought was really cute. I figured he could be like a little companion. And I like the chair I chose in here too. I don't know if I've ever used that chair. It's not one I use often, so I thought it was nice. And then I'm just getting some posters by the front door. And then there's this column I pulled out earlier I thought would be really nice to put over here by the entryway. I was thinking it was some sort of power source that was keeping everything running. And I also decided, oh wait, I haven't added any pipes yet. Let me fix that. So I go around and start adding a bunch of pipes in here. And then I get a bookcase under the staircase here. I'm imagining that bookcase is not functional because it's tucked under there, but I just wanted to put it there for aesthetics. I thought it looked nice. And then I also added a robot vacuum, and I should be getting the trash can from Base Game 2 that allows your Sims to sell trash for money. It felt very realistic for this sort of build. It's not one I use very often because I think it's kind of ugly and doesn't really make sense with the realistic gameplay I tend to go for, but I thought in this build it was perfect. So that's what I opted for. And then this is going to be the bathroom. Ends up being kind of simple, but it has some weird items I don't use very often, like the decontamination shower and the talking toilet. Of course, we have some very intense pink lighting in here as well. And the mirror I end up using in here, I said lamp because it has a light behind it, I thought was perfect. I almost never use this one because it has such an intense light, but I thought it with the blue swatch was so pretty against the pink colors in here, so that's what I grabbed. And I also got some pipes on the wall, and then just a couple of things like a toothbrush and some soap, as well as some towels. And then we were moving upstairs, and I was actually really excited about this big piece that I have here that's like in the middle of the room. It's from the Star Wars pack, and I didn't know how I wanted to use it, but I ended up just putting it under the TV to, I was kind of imagining it was part of the gaming situation, like it has something to do with the video games they are playing. So I really enjoyed that. And then I got a little couch, which is actually also from the Star Wars pack. And I put a couple of cushions up there to make it look a little cozier and bring in some more of that pink color that I wanted in this space. And of course, adding a console so your Sims can actually do some console gaming up here. And I put like a controller and a bunch of other little things over on the table here and got some comfy rugs. I wanted this to be a cozy space, even though the walls are all made out of metal. I still feel like I achieved that. We have all kinds of fun lights and plants, and then I should be working on the gaming corner with the PC set up here shortly. At first, I was thinking I was going to use the content creation station from the Get Famous pack, but I really didn't like how it looked, and it wasn't going to be functional as a computer. It's just the content creation, so I decided to get rid of that in the end, and I used a different desk, and I'm really happy with the one I chose. I tried a few different ones, and we're going to go through that right now. I started with a metal desk, which I think is from Strangerville, and then I also tried a base game desk that's a little over the top, and then I ended with a small desk from the Star Wars pack that I thought was perfect for this build. You can see what I mean, how the Star Wars pack just worked really nicely. And this is the TV I had mentioned that actually ends up blocking the stairs. It is a decorative TV from the Strangerville game pack that has like the mother on it and the plants. I just thought it looked cool and had the right color, so I decided to put it up here. But where I end up having it placed in this build, it's blocking the space, so I end up having to just rearrange a little bit. It's still up here in the final version. It's just not where you're going to see it in the build. I think it's in the correct placement in the screenshots, though, because I'm pretty sure I fixed it before I took the screenshots. But anyway, just adding some more curtains up here. I also extended these light beams up the steps so it didn't look like they abruptly ended, moving around some of the neon lights. And of course, adding some more. I really like these panels on the wall. I ended up using these around the TV. I think the final version, there's only one of them because of where I had to move the TV to, so that it wasn't in the way. And then I am using this little shelf, also from the Star Wars pack, to add some clutter. And we got some more of this graffiti throughout. And I believe I add some more downstairs towards the end of the build as well. But first, just getting a fluffy rug over here to make it a little bit cozier. And then I get this little light from Base Game. I believe I got that added like last year or the year before. I almost never use it, but it felt like it was the correct colors here. And then I got some books and a couple of boxes of just stuff. I felt like that was pretty realistic for a space like this. I also really liked this little neon light from the high school pack. It's just really pretty, and I wanted a couple of pieces like that around. And this bookcase was perfect. That is from Discover University. I just really love how it's kind of worn down, has some scratches and dings on it, but it has those really bright, colorful stickers that really match the vibe of this entire interior. So over in this corner, I got some more posters and stuff, but I also was getting something for the cat to scratch on. As you can see, I started putting some cat stuff upstairs. We have a really cute bed. There is an automatic litter box that like cleans itself. It's like very techy. Out on the balcony, I think I forgot to add a food bowl down here though. So I will try to remember to add that before I upload that to the gallery. But if not, that's a pretty easy thing to add. But I just thought the idea of like a little kitty here would be so cute. and it gives me Stray vibes. If you have seen or played that game, it is so cool. So I liked the idea of there being a cat here, but we've moved into the bedroom now. I did swap out the bed and use this one from Seasons because it's this dark blue color, and so it felt like it fit the style I was going for. And the lighting in here is definitely more blue than the rest of the apartment or the rest of the tiny house where there's a lot more pink going on. But I tried to add a little bit of variety in here, so I'm playing around with the lights, trying to incorporate a little bit more pink, but it does end up being pretty overwhelmingly blue, but I think that's okay. Kind of like how the downstairs bathroom is like pink. There's like no blue in there. But in here, I decided to have a little bit of clutter on the floor, like messy stuff that hasn't been cleaned up. And then on the bedside table, I really enjoyed adding this little alarm clock as well as this tablet and just like a plant, a couple of decorations, like simple bedside table stuff. I also added some more graffiti in here that I thought was really pretty and fit with the color scheme. And I'm pretty much using the same curtains throughout the entire house. I think these ones are from Eco Lifestyle, but I really liked the hexagons on them and how they were that teal color I was using a lot of. And then this is a wardrobe from the Industrial Loft kit that I thought worked quite nicely. I also ended up getting a standing mirror in here and some more plants. I believe we ended up using the same plants in here that I put outside, which are from Werewolves. They're just in a bunch of different like cans and pots and buckets and stuff. I really liked that. And then, fire alarm, temperature control. And then this is where I'm adding additional graffiti to the house. I really enjoyed these ones from the Star Wars pack. I just think they're really nice and simple. And I liked the idea of adding those. And then I am going back outside to finalize some of the landscaping. So we're in the daytime now just so I can see the plants a little bit better. But we will go back to nighttime to fix up some of the lighting and get all of that finalized. I think this house really shines at night. But I think it looks nice during the day as well. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just adding a trash can over here in a mailbox and lots more overgrown grass. I really like the juxtaposition of the overgrown grass and this really sort of run-down looking home with this really fancy car outside. I even put some graffiti on one of the doors, which I thought was a nice touch. And then I'm just getting some more rocks, and I got a little bit more lighting over here as well. And I ended up changing these to a teal color. I was quite happy with that. I just felt like there was a little bit of lighting missing on that side, and that helped to balance it out a little bit better, in my opinion. And then what's the last couple things I added? Oh, I added some more of these wires. These are from the Star Wars pack as well. I put some outside and some in the entryway. And that should be it. And we're going to be heading on into screenshots. I really hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Misplay for sponsoring, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.